All right. Good evening, everyone, and happy Tuesday. It feels like forever, ever since we've been on with the Village Speaks Talk Show. And I want to say happy Tuesday. We are in, I can't say sunny South Florida right now because it's not sunny outside, but we are so grateful to be here in your place, in your space. And just gonna chop it up a little bit with our very own, the illustrious Tiffany Marshall. We're gonna definitely dive into some systems and how it works for the fourth quarter. Hello, for situations like we're embracing right now, and a whole lot of other things. So we want to say thank you for tuning in. Please like and share the video so we can get some likes and hearts, but most of all, that as many people as possible can get this good information. Somebody put it in the comment section. Good
Good,
information.
good.
And we're so excited. And we won't be on long because we know that many people are still preparing for the storm. And we know that, on the West Coast, a lot of people had to evacuate. And so we are sending prayers there. We're sending prayers for the people that was impacted by the previous storm, and just our first responders and everybody involved. And people will say, well, why you're praying? We don't listen. If you don't believe in prayer, that's okay. We believe in prayer over here.
Right.
So we're going to continue to pray.
And
So
do.
without any further ado, Tiffany, welcome. Welcome to the Village
Thank you,
Speaks Talk
Sandra.
Show. How are you doing this evening?
I am here. I am content and I'm happy to be here.
Yes. And well, thank you for your yes. I can share the video. I'm trying to type, even though it's going on the screen. Thank you for your yes of being here. So, Tiffany, tell us about who you are and all that good stuff, and then we'll jump into the meat of the matter.
So I could tell you who I am, but let me tell you who people say I am.
Okay.
And that is a chaos
Who do
crusher,
people say you
right?
are?
Let me tell you who people say I am. And
Yeah.
so I just have what I thought was once just a boring way of living that I thought that only I benefited from. And that is
Mhm.
just finding clarity, And so I have a knack, I am skilled at helping people find clarity by way of crushing chaos. And I do that
Ah.
by way of having a systems driven approach to how I function in life and in
Mhm.
business.
Okay. And so you said crushing chaos. Crushing means you're like destroying it, you're dismantling you're taking
Hmm.
it apart. And so and you and chaos seemingly sometimes is like the inevitable or something that's
Hmm.
always going on. You like by the time you put out one fire, another fire is going on, and we're not saying fire in the figure in the real means, but more of a figurative speech. Can you dive
Right.
in and talk a little bit about that for us this
Absolutely.
evening?
Absolutely. Because here's the thing about it, there's always something, right, to face, to handle, to manage it. But it's
Mhm.
about the strategy in which you approach it. So there are
Yes.
things where people say, "Well, I don't like to plan because I don't know what I'm going to expect." Well, no one knows what to expect, right? We wake up
Yeah.
every day, we hope for the best, but we don't know what we will be approached with in life and or business. But it's
Mhm.
about one, your posture, your
Yes.
perspective, and your positioning of how
Yeah.
I'm going to address this. And what
Right.
we don't address has a tendency to take over us, and then
Yeah.
that chaos can build, right? That disorder builds, because that's what chaos is. It's disorder,
Yes.
it's a distraction. And so
Right.
we have to have a strategic approach by first having the mindset that I'm not going to allow any chaos. And then
Mhm.
how do I approach this?
Right. So, from a business standpoint, I mean, right now we're preparing for a hurricane. Many
Hmm.
places are closed tomorrow and Thursday. Some places will be
Yes.
open for a short time tomorrow, and then they're closing for the rest of the day until Thursday, with
Hmm.
anticipation of hoping to open back up by Friday. Can you
Hmm.
talk from a solopreneur slash entrepreneur standpoint of what are some of the things we should be doing?
Yes. So first, take care of yourself. That's
Right.
first, right?
Numero
And if you
uno.
numero uno, take care of yourself and your family. And in our area, we're expecting to, reopen on Friday. In some areas, they don't know when they're going to reopen, right? And
Right.
especially for those in the areas that had to evacuate, they don't know when they're returning. You know, if
Mhm.
I sometimes I when I've flown out for a hurricane, it's been a while, maybe 2017, 2018 when we had Irma or Wilma, one of them. I just bought a
Yes.
one-way plane ticket. I was like, I don't know when I'm coming back.
One way on the midnight train.
Right? So, as you mentioned, we're in Q4, not just that, we're facing inclement weather. So, how do you navigate this storm,
Mhm,
right? As being a solopreneur, an entrepreneur,
mhm,
aside of taking care of yourself and your family, your business still has to run and operate because all
mhm.
of your clients are not in your locality. So how
Right.
can you still serve them? Because let me be honest with you, when you pay people, they still expect you to service them. They still
Yes.
expect an end product or whatever it may be. So my first tip, suggestion is to make sure that if you have any online scheduling tool, you need to go ahead and unavail yourself. Anything
Mm,
that you have open on your calendar, go ahead and take um, those meetings off of your calendar. And you may say, well, Tiffany, I work full time and I have my business full time. I'm off tomorrow. If you feel up to doing it. So, for example, Chandra, right now, I'm kind of like a little overwhelmed. There's a lot
mhm.
going on. I'm trying to communicate with family and friends who are out of state, calling to check on me. It could
Yeah.
become overwhelming. And
Mm,
honestly, it didn't hit me that we were having a real hurricane until um, my friend in DC texted me. I was like, okay, if DC talking about us,
yes.
something serious is
Let me
going
pay
on, right?
attention.
Yeah, let me pay attention. Let me actually turn on the news. My sister was in New York and she was texting me. I'm like, oh, we have a hurricane coming.
Mm,
So you may not even feel you may not emotionally be there to
right.
entertain prospective clients. So give yourself some grace right now and block off your calendar for the next few days. Okay. You also want to make sure if you have any new clients, you have to hold their hand through your process. They don't know how you operate in your business. And let me
Right.
tell you, they did not read the contract. You probably spelled everything correctly in the contract. It's probably in black and white. But
Mhm.
honestly, when most people pay you, they don't read the contract. They're just excited. They pay you, they sign, and they're ready to go. Think about the
Mhm.
last time you bought a cell phone. Did you really read the contract? No,
Not at all.
not at all. We just, okay, let me swipe, hit the
Uh-huh.
button, and get my
Yeah.
phone. Same thing with our clients. So the same way we operate as consumers, our clients are our consumers. So you may say,
Mhm.
well, I don't need to email them because in my contract it says that, the project date might be delayed. No, they don't know. And especially if they're not in Florida, if they don't watch the news, or if they have
Mhm.
never lived through a hurricane, they don't know what to expect. So if you
Right.
have any new clients, you want to go ahead and send them a message, email them, send them some type of message, some type of correspondence to let them know, hey, I'm in Florida. We are preparing for a hurricane. I will be out of the office for the next 4 or 5 days.
Mm,
Your project may be delayed. Whatever you need to say, you need to communicate with your clients, especially if they're new, because those first 90 days of a new client are very imperative. And I can go
mhm.
into more reasoning later, but you want to inform them that, hey, I'm out of the office. Communication is very important. Okay. So online booking, unavail yourself, block off your calendar. You don't want anyone surfing online, booking your appointment, and you're not feeling like meeting, right? Or
Yeah.
you have no power to even entertain them or even communicate with them. And then you want to make sure that you reach out to all current new clients, let them know, hey, I'm going to be out of the office. Okay. And then can I go or you want me to?
Yes. No, no, go ahead.
Okay, because right? And if you have any current projects, so I'm talking about systems right now, okay? So if you have when I say systems, that means organization, because a system is a structure. So that's how your business flows. If you are working on any projects, so if you're service based and you have any projects that you're working on, or
Yeah.
if you are an e-commerce business, if you are working on, maybe making tumblers or you have a cake order, you're not baking any cakes right now. If there's a
Right.
party on Saturday or a party on Friday, contact that family and see what's going on. But it's important to note that you need to clearly state that this project due date will be delayed, even if you don't foresee needing extra time.
That's right. That's
And
right.
let's put a pin there. And Chandra, this is down your alley. If you
Yeah.
don't have a weather clause somewhere in your contract, I need
Mhm.
you to go and update your contracts to protect yourself, right?
Yes.
and to prepare your client because things happen. You get sick. So if you get sick and cannot operate, there needs to be a clause on your contract.
Mhm.
Sometimes, we lose family members, loved ones. If you have to travel out of state or if you have to attend a funeral, that
Yeah.
clause needs to be somewhere in your contract. There needs to be a weather clause in your contract. So if anything happens in your life or if you get sick, if anything happens that will delay the deliverability of that project, it needs to be stated. I can't tell
Yeah.
you how many court cases I've seen. I used to be a judge, Mathis junkie, okay? And I'm like, wow, if this would have been in the contract,
Mm-hmm.
this would have prevented this
Yeah.
whole case,
Yes. Yes.
So don't assume that people know. Don't
Mm-hmm.
assume anything. It needs to be written and it needs to be professionally communicated. So as we close out Q4, update your systems in your business, update your structure to make sure those things are in your business. Your terms and conditions should be on your website. Go and update your terms and conditions. So even if you forget something in your contract, your terms and conditions also will support that. So you want to make sure that you have those three things as a part of your business structure to help everything flow smoothly. And that's a part of your business working while you're not.
Yes, and that is so key. And thank you for reminding of the calendar to go and block off that time because
Mm-hmm.
we talked about that a while ago that somebody had found one of my scheduling links that I thought wasn't even working any
Mm-hmm.
longer, and they would schedule it, but they
It
couldn't. It
happens.
wasn't accepted. But yeah, because things get lost on the internet, especially when you're
Mm-hmm.
rebuilding and rebranding. So thank you for that reminder. I'm going to make sure I do that before I go before I leave the office
All of
tonight.
us need to. I had to go and update my calendar today.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that is so important. Thank you. And then you're talking about systems, you're talking about manners in which we communicate with our customers, so their
Mm-hmm.
expectations will be right, be in alignment. And not just new customers, but even current
Mm-hmm.
customers that we may have
Mm-hmm.
serviced. Life happens and people tend to forget things and people tend to
Mm-hmm.
not always think of everything that we should. So can
Mm-hmm.
we as you were bringing up the terms and conditions, we all understand no one wants confrontation, no one wants conflict, no one wants
Mm-hmm.
chargebacks. But when those kinds of things happen, you have to protect yourself. So taking
Correct.
a few extra minutes to make sure that those terms and conditions are in the contract, and then making sure that sometimes you got to highlight it because people will sign and pay
Yeah.
without even reading. So even
Mm-hmm.
highlighting something like that is vitally important as well. Anything else that we should be concerned about as relates to systems coming up to the fourth quarter, and then specifically for those that are in the way of the hurricane?
Yes, this is a great time to re-engage current former clients as well. So
Mm.
Q4, and I'm going to give you all some marketing insight on this too, because I'm systems driven, right, with my marketing as well. This is a great time to re-engage former clients. People who
Mm.
have paid you before will
Mm-hmm.
most likely pay you again. So
Yes.
if you have a structure in place, you can go ahead and re-engage former clients. Maybe you have a new service that they will be interested in. You can upsell them or offer them something. What can you do to help them close out the new year? So if you have a nonprofit organization, this is a great time to reach out to some of your donors.
Mm.
Let them know what you've accomplished this year. How have you made an impact in your
Yes.
community?
Yes.
Re-engage them.
We call it
What
the
is it
end
called?
of the year. End of the year ask the
So
measure.
somebody put ask in the chat. End of the year ask. I'm not in the nonprofit world,
Yes.
but I
End
know
of
it's a
the
marketing strategy. So somebody put ASK in the chat, okay? End of the year
Mhm.
ask. Reengage those persons. Clients
Yes.
that you have not had um in a few months or maybe even a year, right?
Yes.
You might have a service that they need, or re-engage them in something that you've already done for them. How can you
Mhm.
continue to assist them? If you are a baker, I know that you have some sales coming up for the holidays. Don't wait for people to call you. Don't wait for
Right.
the other bakers to start promoting their sales. This is a great time for you to reach out to them to let them know, like, hey, I have, this sale coming up, or do you have a New Year's, brunch coming up? It's not too early to start thinking about, Valentine's Day. And
Mhm.
especially if you have a high ticketed service or product, when you
Mhm.
reach out to people in advance, you have the opportunity to give them a payment plan of some sort.
Yes, that's important.
You
Mhm.
know, people love options. And if you make it easier for them to pay you,
Yes.
do it. And speaking of payments, can we embrace click and pay options?
Oh wow, can you talk about that a little bit?
Can we embrace click and pay options? You
Mhm.
know, it used to be custom. It used to be the thing to call and give your credit card number over the phone. And some companies still operate like that. But I want you to study your client. I want you to study the behavior of your, I'm sorry, I want you to study the behavior of your ideal client. Not
Yes.
the people that you're currently serving may or may not be your ideal, but always focus on who your ideal client is and how do they operate. Most
Yes.
people want quick, fast. This is a click and pay society. So when it comes to your contracts, how
Mhm.
long does it take me to sign the contract?
Mhm.
When I receive a quote, how long does it take me to review that quote, accept it, and pay it? Right? Do not impose work on people. And let's be
Yeah.
honest, who really enjoyed homework in high school?
Well,
Right? A
I'm an
few of us were school
informational
nerds.
junkie.
I think you and I are exempt. I was a school nerd.
Right.
I was kind of happy. I was like, oh, I get to read 20 minutes a night. But honestly,
Yeah.
like as you get older, especially in college, you're like, I don't want to write any more
Right.
papers. But what
Right.
happens is, Chandra, we get clients and we impose so much work on them. It's like
Mhm.
we just vomit on them. You know,
Right.
make it easy for people to do business with you. There are tools out here, free tools, and some tools that you have to pay for that makes it easy for the exchange. I don't want to receive any more contracts where I have to print out the PDF, sign it, and send it back. And
And
that
scan
still
and
happens
send
in 20. Ugh. And it's so you can scan it on your phone, but why?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And I get we know what we know, and it's comfortable operating how you've always operated. But when it comes to efficiency, even for you, it will be easier. Don't you want to get paid quicker? Don't you
Yes,
want the
I do.
invoices to come through quicker?
Send me them dollar
Right?
bills. I don't say coins
So
anymore. Send me the
yeah, you
dollar
don't
bill.
say coins. Send me the dollars. Some people say send me the dead presidents. I don't really like that, but I get it. Send me Benjamin. I prefer Benjamin. But
Right.
anyway,
Mhm.
so
Right,
make it
right,
easier for
right.
people to do business with you as we head into Q4. And I always tell people, get a friend or we all have that one honest friend, right?
Mhm.
Get that one honest friend that will go through your process as if he or she is the client and ask them
Yes.
about the process. Was this easy for you? Even your website. Have a friend go to your website, right? And tell them, tell me what I do based on my website. Is there anything there that you don't understand? Can you tell me
Mm.
what I do? Can you tell me how to, book a consultation or order my product? Like test out because a lot of times we're in our businesses and we're doing our best and we really
Right.
don't have time,
Mhm.
to step on
To
the outside
assist.
of our business,
Yeah.
right? And we need to think about the end user or we need to think about the consumer and what they're experiencing on their end. So going into Q4, going into the holiday season, I want you to make sure that you have these in place and also be honest with yourself. Were you in communication with your audience throughout the year? Have you
Mhm.
built relationships? On Blessed Boulevard, we've been talking about community and
Yeah.
community building. So if you were at the prayer breakfast, we talked about community. If you were at the strategy session last night, we talked about community. Community is important, right? I don't want any tax preparer who only calls me in January. I don't
Period.
trust you. I don't trust you. If you haven't talked about taxes all year and now you want to call me, now you want to text me, I'm not interested,
Right.
right?
Right.
There are some conferences that people have annually. I don't just want to see your ads when it's time for your conference. I don't just want your emails when you're marketing your conference tickets. So have you been loyal? Have you been consistent all year, or do you just want my money? Do you care about me? Do you really care that I like your cake? Do you really care that I like your t-shirt designs? or do you just want a quick sale?
Mm.
So in
Wow.
Q4, you want to assess how you have been showing up and how you have been operating and prepare for the capacity that you want. Right on Bless Boulevard, we will say, pray for what you're preparing for. And I tell people
Mm.
before you get another client, you want to make sure that you look good offline. I don't care how great your social media looks. I don't care how great your Instagram looks. I don't even care how many likes you get because there are people who are getting likes and they're not converting those likes. There are
Mm-hmm.
people who are going viral and they're not really having cash flow. But how well are you operating offline? Because it only takes one.
Mm-hmm.
It only takes that one share sometimes. It only takes that one referral to have you
Yes.
skyrocket. And you want to make sure that you're ready for the capacity,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I
Are you
love
truly
it.
ready? Are you truly ready? Are you truly ready for more clients? Right? Are you prepared for overflow? We say it, we think it, but are you prepared? Because the last thing you want it has a net is to have a net full of fish and not know
Mm.
what to do with it.
Wow.
Because those fish are not gonna stay still.
Yes.
They're not gonna stay still.
I love it. I
Right? They're
love
not
it.
gonna stay still. So you want to have the capacity, you want to be in place to take care of those people. And and you owe it to yourself, right? When you're organized, you have clarity, you feel better, you walk with a different confidence.
Mhm. Yes.
You walk with a different confidence. People walk away talking about you even better. Like you create marketing agents when you treat people right, when they have a great experience with you. If you know me, you know what brand of shoes and bags I like, right? Because I don't even
Definitely.
talk about the bag or the shoe, but I talk about my experience in that store.
Hmm.
Right? When I enter, I feel like a person. When I'm in there, I feel like a person. When people email me and call me, I went to one of their locations. I was telling a friend this today. I went to one of their locations in Georgetown, Chandler, like 2 years ago. When people still text me,
Wow.
right? So
That's
it's
powerful.
just about that relationship and that branding and that feeling. So in
Mm.
Q4, even find some time to assess how you're operating and how you can improve your operations to have a better experience for your clients.
That's right. Oh my gosh. All of that was so powerful. And I know when we talk about systems, it's not transactional, it's relational. A
This
lot of
relationship,
times when you hear systems, people think, oh, it's just put it on autopilot. Yes, you want it on autopilot to
mhm,
do the things that you do on a repeated basis so
correct,
you don't have what they call time wasters or time killers. But even with that, there's still a relationship because now you've freed up time that you normally will be spending on frivolous things to give the
correct,
customer a better experience. And so we want
correct.
to make sure that we don't miss something by thinking that we're putting something on systems and it
Mhm.
creates a transactional type of environment for the customer. And actually, it doesn't. It's more so of a relational experience for the customer.
Right. And a lot of people feel like, oh, I don't want to systemize because it'll take away that personal touch. No, it's just handling, like you said, the basic things for you,
Yes.
those administrative tasks and the things that you're doing every over and over that you don't need to be
It
doing.
consumes a lot of time. It consumes a lot of time.
Yes,
And when
it does.
we understand how systems actually help us to work more efficiently and effectively, that will impact ultimately our bottom line and the impact and influence that we're trying to reach, it will
Yes,
make
ma'am.
sense. And so, what are some of can you share a few tips from us as we have a few more minutes? Time go by so fast. We had
Mhm.
about 6 more minutes, but can you share some tips with us of some of the things that you've seen over the last year that has changed in the systems industry?
I see more people embracing getting organized in structure. And I love
Mm.
that for us. I
Yeah.
love that we are understanding that we don't have to be the superwoman to handle everything or Superman to handle everything. So I
Yes.
like when I see people embracing different tools, like I see people using AI more for,
Mm.
their business needs. I see people scheduling posts more for their business needs. So I like that we are on a learning curve of trying to advance our companies in one way or another.
Mhm.
Studies show that there has been an incline of people receiving more money when they have a systemized structure in place. Why?
Mhm.
Because they are free to operate in their business. They're free to operate in their gift.
Yes.
And so what I said, the system suite is you didn't start your business to be a secretary,
Uh-huh. Right,
right?
right,
So if you're just
right.
shuffling papers, if you're just shuffling emails all day, that doesn't raise your bottom line. So those who have embraced systems and a structure, they are making more money because they're free. They have more free time to operate in their calling, in their gift, in their business, and they have the opportunity to onboard an assistant or a virtual or someone like that because they can tell that person, they could train that person on what to do. So here's what I do, and now I need you to basically duplicate this. So they have a structure in place that they can teach others, and that's helping them as well. So I'm seeing that in the space of systems and structure. And once that I shared at the prayer breakfast, I share now, is not the
Mhm.
greatest, but it's something that we should be noted of. And that's 42% of people, or 42% of businesses don't follow up. So we talked about, I keep talking about the prayer breakfast, so I hope y'all come next year, but it's fresh in my mind.
We
The
had an
experience is fresh.
amazing time. An
We did. Hey,
amazing
Shantaria, she was there as well. Hey, Tiffany. Um, hey, Rosa. So it's very important to understand that we have the best intentions when we meet people, when we exchange information. And it's like,
time.
I'm going to follow up with these people. You ever go networking and you collect so many business cards? Let me talk about myself. Let me talk about Tiffany. I've been in different networking events and collected cards, and they just sit in my purse, or sit on the
Yes.
desk. And
Mhm.
so I said, I have to put a structure in place to follow up and just connect and do that automatically. It's not less genuine, but if I'm meeting 50 people at a networking event, I at least want to, reach out to 10% of them.
Mhm.
But I have a
Mhm.
greater chance of connecting with more if I have a structure in place. Let me just automate an email. I'm going to put their email in my system and automate an email to go out to them and say, hey, great meeting you. What's wrong with that? And then
Right.
let them reply. So don't be a part of the 2% of business owners that don't follow up. So that's something that you can automate to make more connections, because most times, Sharon, we just look at people and we have these chats and we expect people to come talk to us. We expect them to come to us. No, most times you need to take the initiative and reach
Yes.
out first.
Yes, yes, yes. And I someone told me, and I gotta figure it out. Someone told me that there was actually an app that you can use when you get cards, and you can scan them or put them in the system or something like that. And I need to do
Mhm.
that because the last 2 months I was at four different conferences and collected all of these business cards, and they're sitting on my desk. I took them out my purse. I'm like, if I take them out my purse, I look at them
That's
long
one
enough,
step.
then I'll do. But it is so vitally important that we don't want to lose the connections that are made, because I just believe things that we do intentional, like you were intentional on being at a certain place. You were intentional
Mhm.
about going to a certain workshop. And so you
Yeah.
need to be intentional about cultivating that connection that you created as well.
Right. Yeah, and that's a part of the investment in the conference are the people
Yeah.
that are there. Because if they took the
Yeah.
time to get there, if they made the financial investment to be there, you're in the right room. And on Plus Boulevard, we talk about networking and how to
Yeah.
leverage that, your connection. So
Right.
definitely, reach out to those people.
Okay. All right. For those that are watching, do we have any last questions or comments for Coach Tiffany? And Tiffany, thank you so very much. While we're
Absolutely.
waiting to see if anybody's going to comment or have any questions, don't forget we have a lot of things coming up, you guys. The one thing I want to mention, and I'm going to actually do a small video tomorrow, but we definitely have the business boot camp coming up, the Becoming the Best You Business Growth and Sustainability workshop series. Is a series of workshops because people ask, well, can I come to one? You can come to one, but each workshop builds on itself. Unless we're having
Mhm.
the workshop the same day, then we're doing the same session just twice in that one day. But please, this is your only time that you will get a free workshop from me, right? So please make sure, I'm gonna put the flyer in the comment section. Make sure that you're signing up, and if you know someone that has a business, that you send that flyer over to them. We have a very limited amount of space, but we coming full speed ahead with all of the arsenal, making sure that your business is structured properly, making sure that you have the right business plan and working that you know how to develop business credit, and you have access to capital, but also that you get certified. That's the overlay of it all, that making sure that you get certified through the county and find out about all of these opportunities that you can have as a main contract person or a subcontractor. And we're excited that Palm Beach County Office of Equal Business Opportunity have afforded us this privilege and open door to facilitate these classes. And we will have a series in the Glaze as well. So we're just excited to be a part. And Tiffany, as always, there will be some virtual, but not all of them. I will post the flyer. Shantoria, actually, I'll send it to you directly and I'll post it. But we're definitely going to get Tiffany in to do one of those sessions as well for about 30 minutes of one of the sessions leading up to that. I'll follow up with you offline. But any last words?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity, and for those who are watching replay as well. Hey, Blessed Boulevard is good ground. So any information that comes from here, be a steward of the information. If you don't need it, share it out. And I just want to encourage you to take time for yourself and your business. It's more than having the right tools, it's more than having the right program, but it's overall taking care of yourself. And by way of taking care of yourself, we talk about self-care and self-love. Self-care and self-love is not just getting a manicure and pedicure and getting your hair done, right? But it's taking care of your overall wellness of
Yes.
yourself, of your family, of your business, right? And it's about the longevity of your company. You're going to last longer when you feel better. You're going to thrive. You're going to be able to scale when you feel better. And you cannot do that in dysfunction. Nothing grows in dysfunction. So when we talk about systems and getting in order, that's the structure that you deserve. And that's what you need. So I want you to tap in to this information, register for the boot camp,
Yeah.
get there virtual or in person, get there so we could truly get our marching orders. Because y'all know me, if you build it, they will come. All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Coach Tiffany, please make sure you put your information in the comment section so people can follow up with you, because I'm a living witness. I'm telling you, I'm not 100% there, but just her alone, just consistently, you know, having
You
patience
made
with me to
strides.
migrate,
Yeah,
migrate
you
through
you
all
made
of
so many
my
strides.
stuff.
I get excited when I say, Sharon done made her Google form. Go, girl.
Yes, all of those things. I got a long way to go, but I thank you for your service. And I thank you for your patience, because you guys know that I have multiple businesses. So that's a hike within itself, but I'm learning to streamline. I'm learning to schedule posts, certain days of the week, like on Tuesdays, we talk about taxes and insurance. I didn't do so much this time because we're in the height of a storm. And sad to say, you can't get insurance right now. So I'm not bothering you, but just know I'm coming back around. We come back around, and we have certain days that we highlight certain areas of our business. But Coach Tiffany, thank you so very much for being here. And definitely put your comment information in the chat. And you guys will be seeing more of Coach around Blessed Boulevard and on our virtual sessions as well. We will continue the journey of getting better. All right. Because when we get better, it impacts our bottom line, so we can have more impact, more influence, and definitely more income. I am Chandra Stringer, the host of the Village Speaks Talk Show. I want to say thank you for tuning in and for connecting with us. And Coach Tiffany, any last things before we sign off tonight?
I've said enough. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Be blessed.
Good night, everyone.